Welcome back to episode 3 of our second season of the 5-chapter rule. This time we're doing Hoankan Evans no Usu Dead or Love, or the English title being Lies of the Sheriff Evans Dead or Love. The brief story summary of this one was the story follows the lawman Elmore Evans, who, despite being one of the most amazing gunslingers in the West, can't get rid of his bad luck in his romantic life. Very straightforward little summary. Basically, the plot centers around Sheriff Evans and his quest for a girlfriend. Unfortunately, every time he thinks he's found someone, they turn out to be a criminal and has to arrest him, or something like that, or they just disappear off the chapters, I guess.
Yeah, so it's sort of episodic in like each episode's sort of a bounty, maybe.
Yeah, this manga's very much a monster of the week style with a core plot running through it though, which is very basic, but monster of the week still. It's a fairly innocent and light-hearted manga, which is a nice change of pace. I think too many mangas recently feel like they have to be dark for dark's sake these days.
It's interestingly a Wild West manga.
There's not many of them.
Not many of them.
Can you think of many others?
The other one that's vaguely similar is Trigon.
Yeah.
And that's the only one that's vaguely similar.
There was one, I remember once about a weapons dealer in the West who also destroyed, like, gave weapons to people to destroy big giant fanciful creatures. It's like a supernatural kind of thing. And I think I read like 2 chapters of that and never really got any further.
Well, this one's just oddly chill. It's more down to earth.
Yeah, no, there's no supernatural. It very much feels like an old Western movie. I like my Westerns.
Honestly, there's not a lot to say about the plot, really.
No, it's very simple.
It has the standard, like, will they, won't they thing with the main duo, eventually. But he doesn't understand because of what we'll get onto in characters.
Yeah. There's a lot of, I guess I can say as being part of the plot, there's a lot of, my father said, back in the day. A lot of...
Yeah, everything is basically his dad's quotes, and everything he says is to make himself sound cool.
So might as well move straight onto the characters then, which will start for our protagonist. Evans is a very talented gunslinger, but isn't very observant. He's
a humongous dumbass.
When it comes to women, yeah, he's that kind of character.
Everything that happens, his dad automatically gave him a ridiculous quote. And then he is the kind of protagonist, like the Overlord character of fake it until you can make it.
The Overlord character was just bull crap powerful, so I wouldn't really say
he made up a lot of lies, and everyone believes automatically like he's the god. So I think there's a situation at one point where he tried to break in somewhere, and the main lady is in a different room, and then he remembers his dad's wisdom of you can't just let them leave, and that's the only reason she lives. It's because he breaks in and smashes the door into the villain's face.
Oh no, it was more about concerns about her being forced into something that she shouldn't want to do.
Because it's his dad's amazing wisdom.
Some of them are on point, some of them are like... But, yeah.
But he, basically as well, he never acts dumb. He always has to be cool because that's what his dad said he needed to be. So he uses lots of cheesy quotes that his dad told him.
Oh, dear.
Because he acts like a lone wolf because his dad thought it was cool.
Yeah, no, because women like lone wolves.
Yeah.
That was it. But unlike many other manga protagonists you see these days, especially isekai ones, who are after women, Evan's reasons are a bit more wholesome. He's not just trying to hook up with people. He's not trying to create a harem, which seems to be quite common these days.
Well, I've got to
He
say as
just
well.
wants a partner.
Yeah, I've got to say, I actually got a couple of chuckles out of this. I actually laughed a bit at this. That's rare for a comedy series for me.
It's not even that. It's not even like trying to be too much like a comedy series.
It's not even trying to be meta. It's just.
It's just like it's just trying to be light-hearted. What I found interesting about Evans, he doesn't drink, which is quite usual for a Wild West character. And no reason's been given so far. I'm assuming it might be something like his dad told him that it could lead to mistakes or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so when he gets a lady over to his house for the first time, who is just happens to be a villain, she asks him for a drink and he doesn't have any, so he has to bullshit as the reason why he doesn't have any. Because it makes him sound cool.
Yeah, I've mentioned about he follows the rules from his father. But one thing I found interesting was the one about not letting a lady give herself to him as payment.
Yeah.
And that was one of the rules. So like when he saves that thief, she tries to offer herself as payment, and he refuses because his dad told him that's a terrible idea. But it also gives you a believable reason about why he won't succeed in his quest of getting a partner by simply saving him. So it has to be through other means. Because that'd be a quite easy way to kind of knock that goal out of the park. Oh, I've just saved you from some bandits. But we've got a valid reason to why he won't be doing that.
It's like in the fifth page of the first chapter, where they ask him why he wants to be. No, his dad asks him why he wants to be a sheriff, and he just says to be popular with the ladies. I did actually get a chuckle out of
that. I mean, it probably would work. But yeah, he's got no experience of love, so he's that.
So if we haven't said
naive.
before, it's an action comedy, romance, shonen, and slice of life, and is, I think, finished.
Is it finished?
I'm not sure. It's 157 chapters right now.
It was updated on August the 13th this year.
Oh, it might not be finished though.
So it might not be finished then. It was only recently.
The last chapter
updated.
was an omake, and those are usually after, but it's fine. It's actually not too bad for 157 chapters though. It must be fairly popular then. Right, so next character then is who?
So our next character to talk about, I guess very brief, will be Ted Hall, which is Evan's deputy, but he's still a kid. There's kind of limits to how much duties he can do.
The guy keeps wrecking all his situations.
Yeah, basically, he's very innocent, looks up to Evans, but as typical of a kid, he'll accidentally say stuff which will cause issues.
It's also because of Evans's ability to just keep bullshitting all the time. That the deputy misunderstands everything and wrecks the situation, but it's not his fault.
Like he wrecked his Evans's chance of getting with the reporter lady who was making an article.
Yeah, because he saw Evans staring at a poster once
of an actress, so thinks that he means to marry her, so marry the actress. So she writes out like, "No, I wanted to marry you," the reporter. But nope, she's gone now. I mean, the deputy ruined it from everyone. I put the next character I've wrote down here because I feel like he may turn up again, but he may not. This series does have a kind of thing of, here's this character, they're gone they're only here for one chapter. But I put Douglas Cleef, which was this bounty hunter. Now, he's only in one of the 5 chapters so far, but I get the feeling that he may return. So it's just a bounty hunter who claims bounties by any means, including trying to kill the sheriff. I feel like they're trying to set it up as maybe he will reoccur.
Maybe.
But I might be wrong about this due to how much they throw away characters. Even ones that seem like they put a lot of design effort into, like the first lady, she's only in for like first few chapters. Like, oh well, We had to arrest her, and considering that she was also for murder, they'd
Yeah, but
probably
she also
execute her.
said that she's up for redemption, so potentially she might come back later anyway.
Well, no, that's a thief. You're thinking the second one. The first lady, right at the beginning, who was arrested. She's been arrested for many crimes, including murder. She'll be hanged. Doesn't say
Right.
that, but
She left no impression on me. I forgot she existed.
yeah. Well, he can't get her out of his mind for a little while, and then suddenly the new female comes along, and he sees her boobs, and suddenly the memory of the previous lady has faded
That
away.
was a good panel. I chuckled at that. Because you see her wanted poster in the corner setting on fire as he forgets about her. I actually appreciate that panel.
And it just happens to be another wanted person. So I guess the final. Originally, I wrote something for the reporter, but it looks like she's gone. So the final character, who definitely is a recurring character, because the manga website has the icon they're using is the 6th volume, and she's on the 6th volume cover.
You'd
So
have
she's
thought she
definitely,
was. She states she's his rival.
yeah, Phoebe Oakley, who is a young bounty hunter. I thought she was a lot younger, but apparently she's similar age to him. Who's like second best to Evans in sharpshooting, which really annoys her. So she considers herself to be his rival and is desperate to one up him. But she's also very innocent about love, just like Evans, and it's quite obvious that it's going to be those two together later on. That's just,
Yeah, that's
both
where
like
most of the
each of
comedy
them.
bits comes.
Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Each of us think, oh, the other person might have feelings for me. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, I don't know. And then they just both keep going off on their own way.
It's very Love is War in that style. It's actually quite nice. I don't mind those.
I do like the character of Phoebe. She seems nice enough. Any other things you want to say about characters?
There's not a lot that we haven't already said. It's not going to be a long one, this, because there's not a huge amount of like plot depth to go into.
No, there's not much character development yet. I mean, but it's a light-hearted series. It doesn't need to be. So I guess art-wise, I don't know about you, but this manga had a bit of a old school kind of webcomic look to it to
I
me.
like this art actually,
especially the color pages. It's like I'm not sure. To me, it feels like a in between manga and Western comics, which
because
would be fitting for Wild West.
Speaking about color pages, I think each chapter has like 2 or 3 good color pages. That's rare.
It's nice, isn't it? I do like color pages. The backgrounds are simple but serviceable. The characters look good. Emotions come across well on them, so it's quite nice. It's pleasant enough to look at. Not going to get any awards, but it's definitely all right.
I think it fits the theme. Simple
It does
enough.
fit the theme.
You've got like your Wild West backgrounds, like all your buildings. I think it fits the theme quite nice.
It does fit the theme. Design aspects. I mean, Evans, his design's very typical of a Western sheriff. It works well the character, but it's nothing. If you've seen any kind of Western, you've seen his design. Phoebe, her outfit to me feels maybe a bit too modern for the Wild West, but not too modern. But it's a nice, wholesome outfit which fits her innocent nature.
Yeah, it's just sort of like a combat dress.
I'm not sure what the combat acts. It's definitely a dress, but unlike quite a lot of the women of that era, it's not revealing on the cleavage at all.
No, it's very boyish. It's quite nice.
Which fits her more innocent nature, which is quite good. the rest of the background character outfits are pretty much what you'd expect to see in a Western. It's just realistic-ish, I guess.
Yeah.
Is there anything else more you'd like to say about this one? Since gone through this one quite quickly.
Not so much about art, no. I think the art's fine. It's actually it's actually nice considering I've been reading a lot of ones that don't even have backgrounds.
Yeah. It's got something there, yeah. So I guess we get to the question of would we read more? For me, it's a fairly harmless series, quite easy to read. I'm enjoying it a little bit, so I probably will keep reading some bit more of it. It's one of those you could quite easily just put on, end of the day, flick through a chapter quite quickly.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind reading more of this. I don't
I
know if
mean,
I'd read all 157, but
yeah. I mean, it's not often you get a manga that you can chuckle to.
it is very rare for me.
So probably worth you reading a few more chapters, might lighten you up a little bit.
I'm perfectly light, I'll have you know. Because when you get bogged down with garbage.
Oh, and there's too many series I've read, like recent releases, which I've just been like, oh, the character has this tragic backstory, and everything is just been, oh, this person's this awful, this person's it's been the revenge fantasy has been quite a popular one recently, and it you get too many of them, and it just kind of drags you down a little bit. So it's nice to have a bit more. I had a few series that had on my little section of like lighter reading, which will help cheer me up from after reading a darker one. But some of them are finished now, so I guess this could replace one of them.
Yeah, it's nice. It's super chill. This, I appreciate
Which is
that.
nice. Which is very nice.
Yeah.
I guess. Is there anything else you got to say on this one?
Not really. I think I've used up all my notes.
So, very much as the manga goes, it's very quick and easy. So, I guess that's the end of this episode. So, until next time, goodbye.